what's up, and welcome to this week's video. So I'm sure by now you guys have seen the sort of trending video of what I spend in a week as this person living in said city. And I've been watching a couple of them and they're actually pretty interesting to watch. And so I figured why not give it a go and actually log what I spend in a week living in New York City. So personally, I like to think of myself as a pretty frugal person. I mean, frugal, not cheap. And you guys will see this, I meal prep throughout the week so I don't have to buy lunch out. And then I like to save those moments for the weekends where I can really kind of go out but still not spend a ton of money. I feel like I say this, but maybe I'll be surprised. I've never tracked it on a weekly basis. I feel like I always see it at the end with my credit card bill. So yeah, I kind of want to see this for me. I want to see how much I actually spend because I think I'm being really good, but who knows? Maybe there's a couple things, I don't know. But right now I'm about to head to my friend's house. I'm waiting for, it's currently Saturday evening-ish. It's 5-ish p.m. on a Saturday. And I'm trying to see if we're either gonna do dinner or if I'm just gonna go straight to her house and either we'll order in or get food. Like I said, I like to kind of keep my weekends as days where I can kind of lay back and splurge a little bit because I save throughout the week. Let's see how this goes. Hey guys, so the week is finally over and I'm going to go through the week and break down how much I spend every single day so we can see exactly what that was. Okay, so I started this on Saturday, so I did Saturday to Saturday. So on Saturday, I actually kind of just wanted to have a little girls' night in and I didn't really want to go out. So I actually went to my friend's place and we decided to just sort of just watch a movie or something. So I brought some ice cream. I got these awesome cookie ice cream things. I'll try to put an image in here because I forgot to vlog this when I was at Trader Joe's. And then I also brought over a bottle of rosé. The ice cream sandwiches were $4.50 and then the rosé was $4.99. And that brings my Saturday total to $9.49, so $9.50 if you will. It was probably around $10 with tax. So Saturday ended up being cheap. On Sunday, I actually ended up staying home the entire day. I was so tired. Well, I slept over at my friend's house and then I got back home around early afternoon, and so I just kind of made myself some breakfast with half an avocado and some eggs. And then for dinner, I ate some Indian food. So I didn't account for any of this because the avocado and eggs I got because, so some prior context, the week before this was the week of New Year's and I was home at my parents' house and my mom, as always, ends up giving me some extra food and also insisted on buying me groceries before coming back into the city, which was so nice. But a lot of this doesn't factor in grocery costs. I didn't even go grocery shopping this week, which is something I typically would have done just because she had given me stuff prior and also she gave me food. So there's literally $0 to that because I didn't buy any of it. So shout out to the fam. So Sunday, I didn't spend any money. Come Monday, I usually meal prep for the week and I usually do that on Sunday. So as you guys saw, I made these Mexican rice bowls, again with all the ingredients that I already either had at home from a previous shopping spree. I had some frozen corn and stuff, and then I had some chicken and all that stuff that my mom had gotten for me when I came back to the city. So again, I made those Mexican rice bowls and that was totally free. So for breakfast, I had this Greek yogurt that again I got courtesy of my mom, and then I actually get free coffee at work, so I never buy coffee out. I actually really rarely do it. The only times I do is if I have an external personal business meeting or something, and then obviously coffee shop is kind of the easiest place to meet at, but other than that, I never buy coffee on my own, and we get coffee for free at work. I also want to quickly add that I meal prep throughout the week. It's a huge cost saving just to buy some groceries and make some food in advance. And then for dinner, again, I still had some leftover Indian food, so I ate that for dinner. And again, Monday's total even though I was out for the entire day, comes to $0. Tuesday's a little crazy, and here's why. So after work, again, same thing. I had yogurt, coffee, and my rice bowl, all of which were free. I didn't spend any money during the day. And then in the evening, I was going to this networking event. So this event was totally free to attend. It was at this really nice rooftop bar in the city, and it was really like, it was totally free, so I didn't have to worry about that. But they did have a 1 drink minimum when you went, so I was like, whatever, I mean, it's a networking thing, I probably would have gotten a drink anyway. Let me tell you, I got a glass of wine, and tell me why that ish was $18. Like, it was like, I think $14 for a glass, and then with like tax and tip and everything, it ended up being like $18. What the hell? Yeah, so I would have never done that. That's a bar I would have honestly never gone to. It was just because I was there for the sake of a networking event that I was there, but what the actual hell? $18 for one singular glass of wine. So I had 2 glasses of wine. Oh my god. And then, because when I'm tipsy I make poor decisions, me and I actually met up with a friend while I was there. I went to this networking event by myself, and so my intention was, I'll get a drink, I'll talk with some people, and I'll leave in an hour. Within 10 minutes of me arriving, I ran into a friend of mine, and then we ended up chatting, got another drink, made some other friends, and then at the end we decided we were hungry. So we left with another friend we made there to another bar to go and get some food. So then we go to this bar, we get some food, and then we get more drinks because, you know, it's Tuesday and that's what you should logically do, right? So I split this because we got some food between the 3 of us and we all split it. But then we also got cocktails, and so I ended up spending about another $30 just between like food and cocktails, and so that includes food, drinks, tax, and tip, so about $30 there. So my grand total for Tuesday was about $62, which is absolutely insane for a Tuesday. Like, that is just stupid. But like I said, it was because I went to a networking event, and then I ended up running into a friend that my Tuesday ended up going way longer than it should have. I did not need to spend that extra amount of money, but when you're in the moment, you're in the moment. Okay, so then come Wednesday, I had promised my coworker that we would go to happy hour together. So we did happy hour right after work, and so we were hungry, of course, after work, so we got 2 drinks and some apps, and so that split between the 2 of us came to about $24.84 with, again, everything and then tax and tip on top of that. I feel like $24.84 for, like, we got I think 2 appetizers and then 2 drinks each, so I feel like that's not bad. That was my total for Wednesday, and then again I came home and ate dinner here, which was free. Okay, so Thursday I did something a little bit unusual. So same thing again, breakfast like was my coffee, yogurt for free again, and then for lunch I had, of course, a bowl once again, and I had to do something unusual because I actually went back home to my parents' house in Pennsylvania because we had, I had some like business stuff to take care of that we didn't get to do over break, so I actually ended up having to go back home for the weekend. So I had to get my train ticket, so that was $16.75 for the train, and then after my parents picked me up from the train station, we went out to dinner, and because I was with my family, I didn't pay for it, so my total for Thursday was $16.75. And then for both Friday and Saturday, because I was at my parents' house, I didn't spend any money again because we were home and we have food at home, and honestly when I'm at my parents' house all I want to do is sit and chill, and so that's kind of what I did. So I didn't spend any money this weekend, which sounds kind of crazy. Let's do a final calculation as to how much this is for the week, and then I kind of want to pinpoint some areas that are accurate and not so accurate and what I feel like an accurate weekly budget would look like. Okay, so the grand total for my week was $113.08. So honestly I feel like that's not that bad. So a couple things that I want to go over that I didn't compute into this calculation, and I feel like it'll make sense when I explain. So first thing right off the bat, I did not include a Metro card charge. Obviously I went to work every single day, and so that's like 2 times a week right there. It's $2.75 each direction, but I didn't account for it because I actually have a commuter benefits Metro card that I get through my work. So I technically don't pay for my Metro card. It actually comes out of my paycheck before it even gets to me. It's like a pre-tax benefit basically, so before I even get my paycheck it's actually already taken care of. So I technically don't pay for my Metro card, and my Metro card gets me unlimited swipes through the subway for the entire month. So whether I take it once a day or 8 times a day, it doesn't really matter. I can kind of keep swiping as I please. So I didn't include my Metro card cost because I don't actually use my credit card to pay for it. It just is taken care of within my paycheck itself. Second thing, I don't go home every single weekend, so that train ticket right there is kind of irrelevant, but also the weekend of me just not spending any money obviously is really unrealistic. I definitely would have gone out at some point during the weekend, whether it was just to go to dinner or to go out to a bar or whatever with my friends. That typically would have been something I would have done, or just hung out with my friends. Regardless, I probably would have spent a little bit of money over the weekend. So to say that I didn't spend any money Friday through Saturday, or Thursday through Saturday if you will, is just obviously kind of unrealistic in my opinion. But I did spend quite a bit of money on Tuesday knowing that I was going to be out for the weekend. So I feel like the money I spent on Tuesday would be way more reflective of what I would have spent on like a Thursday or a Friday or a Saturday night. And I obviously, if I wasn't going home, would not have spent that much money on Tuesday. I probably would have actually allocated to only buy like a drink or 2 on Tuesday and left to go home early, and then used it for the weekend. But because I knew I was going to be home this weekend or that weekend, I decided to splurge a little bit on that Tuesday. And finally, like I said, I'm not usually home. It was just because of after the holidays and stuff. I usually don't have groceries from my parents along with a lot of food. Typically within the week, I usually do my grocery shopping on like a Saturday or Sunday, so I would have gotten groceries for the week, which I would have paid for, and I wouldn't have gotten for free. But I will say, I feel like my average grocery bill for a weekly basis is around $30. So I feel like my weekly budget overall, about $113, $115 if you will say, I feel like is relatively reflective of how much I would spend in a week, give or take maybe 20 or 30 bucks, depending on what kind of week I was having. Because at some point I would probably go to a happy hour or go out with my friends. And so that would, you know, account for that. So yeah, that would have accounted for it, and I for sure would have gotten, honestly, I'm kind of proud of myself. I feel like that's a really good amount of money to spend, especially living in New York City. I feel like people are always like, you're gonna spend so much money all the time, but obviously, like, I mean, I don't think spending $100-ish a week is that bad. I feel like that's kind of average. I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty good number for someone who's on a salary. And I feel like that also goes to show you that you can be frugal, like living in an expensive city, and you can still be really good with money. Just because you live in an expensive city doesn't mean that you have to go to expensive places or spend a lot of money. And a perfect example of that is like where I was at on Tuesday was obviously a very upscale bar that I would have never gone to if it wasn't for the sake of this event, versus on Wednesday when I went to happy hour with my coworker, it was like happy hour specials and a place that we were very comfortable spending money because it wasn't expensive. That's how much I spent in a week. I feel like that's pretty reflective and kind of covers all of the tabs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. If you guys are interested in a further budgeting video and what I do as soon as I get my paycheck and how I sort of distribute out my money and how I budget for the weeks and stuff, let me know. I'm happy to do that as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.